So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Artist Cafe, where we talk about art and life and whatever else is on our mind. And I am Ann-Marie Cheung. I'm a visual artist and creative adventure guide. And today I have with me a special guest all the way from the UK, Stephanie Lester. So if you could just give us a little introduction, Stephanie.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, I'm Stephanie Lester. I'm from Stratford-upon-Avon in the UK, the land of Shakespeare. And I am a sculptural fibre artist. I've got some pieces behind me just to give you an idea, including Shakespeare. Oh, I always get that wrong, don't know whichever side it is. It's like that side. And yeah, and I met you, Anne-Marie, on a course. To learn about selling online because of COVID.
Yeah, I'm just checking on my phone. If anyone has any comments, please post them and we will try and answer. I'm just checking on my phone. If anyone has any I can't turn off the comments, please post them.
Your phone. We love technology, don't we?
Yeah. So yes, here we are with Stephanie live. And yeah, so Stephanie is an artist in the UK who does fiber sculptures. And I am located in Ontario, Canada. And yeah, Stephanie, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about what you're working on?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I mainly focus on animals because I've always felt like I've got a connection to animals, and so it then felt natural to express that. But I kind of stumbled across fibre sculpture about 3 years ago, and I saw a piece and thought, what on earth is that actually made from? Because I just thought I'd really love to be able to produce an animal that I loved in that way. So then I found out about needle felting, which is the technique in order to sculpt the pieces. And it just sort of went from there. And now I absolutely love it. And I'm sort of branching out to be more expressive of how I see the animals and the colours and the different medias that I bring in to the pieces, and even some fantastical pieces and legendary pieces as well. So it's kind of one of those things where you start off thinking it's this big and you just end up growing with it, which is lovely. I get bored easy, so it's great that I never do the same piece twice, and it just means that you can grow, wherever you're feeling and moving at that moment, you create in that direction, which is great.
Yeah, just beforehand, we were talking about this wonderful new piece that you're working on.
My Pegasus, which is, I'm going to bring it out as my showpiece at the show this weekend. But the thing that I'd been doing is I've been promising that I was going to integrate some sterling silver in my pieces. So be it like a tooth in a lion or something, but for Pegasus it's his front hooves, because he's rearing up to fly off. And yeah, so I was just playing with the art clay, which produces sterling silver, which is fantastic. I absolutely had my heart in my mouth when I did it, because it's like, this has to work now because there's only 2 days to go. And it did work, which is, one of those joyous moments, just to give him that, because the thing about Pegasus is every time he lands, he produces a spring of water. So it was like the silver on the hooves seemed appropriate. So yeah,
I didn't know that about Pegasus, the spring of water thing.
Yeah. So he produces what, and also artists and poets usually he inspires them with it. So it's almost like a water that artists and poets drink from. And one thing I found out recently, because Steve's been listening to all the legends, is his mother is actually Medusa, which is extraordinary. But yeah, so no, but he's beautiful. I'm really enjoying the winged horse and my interpretation of that, because He's not a horse that can fly. He's actually a winged horse, which is something quite different in terms of how much feathering and everything that he's got. So yeah, well, my interpretation he is anyway.
So people will have to come to our Zoom show to actually see this
Yes.
Amazing piece.
Yes, they will. I've not shown anybody in advance because that was going to be my my day of showing him. So Friday, Friday and Saturday, he'll be out in all his splendor, including his silver hooves.
Yeah, so we've been having these interactive online art shows together, and this is the third show, is it? Yes.
Yeah.
The third show. So I don't know, maybe you could explain to people a little bit about what it is, because you're the one that's great at explaining this.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because once again, you say to people, we're having a show on Zoom, and we all go, oh God, Zoom, you know, because we've all feel like we're zoomed out. And so it's trying to explain that we use Zoom, but we only use it as the platform on which we put our gallery, basically. And the reason we wanted to use Zoom is because, like Ann-Marie's in Ontario in Canada and I'm in the UK, we wanted all of our Bloomz artists from throughout the world to actually be present, so that it's actually a really unique experience that people can come into our gallery, but actually then go into the individual studios of each artist in all of those countries. And the way we do that is by hosting it on Zoom, but it doesn't feel like Zoom. Everybody who comes to our show goes, oh, if I'd known it was like this, and I must tell people. And I described it the other day as, it's like the Louvre at the NEC. Now, lots of you won't know what the NEC is. It's a National Exhibition Centre, and it's a huge complex, very ugly, and but brilliant facilities. And of course, the Louvre is fabulous. And the moment you got there and went inside, you're in this beautiful gallery. And that's what it's like in coming to our show, that yes, you sign on to Zoom, but then the moment you come in and you're met by our maitre d', Bosley, Steve, and he tells you all about where, and you navigate your way around by choosing which studio you want to go, who you want to go and see. And there's even a rest room for you to go and sit in. There's even a guidance room in case, you know, you're not that familiar with how to get about. But and we've even got groups of people coming together, which is, I think, is another fantastic way of doing it. If you've got friends who you haven't seen for ages, why not all meet up and come to our show, come to our gallery.
It's a lot of fun doing it that way, coming with a group.
Absolutely. You could all have a chat and everything, and that's very much what we're like, isn't it? We're very informal, we love to chat. We actually in our rooms have a show reel running with various bits of our art, but like, as you can see here, I have my art behind me and you have your art behind you. So we're here and we're happy to actually talk about the individual pieces. But if someone just wants to come to have a look, I mean, and I was saying the other day, because sometimes you don't really want to talk to anyone, you just want to go in and have a little sneak, have a look around, and when you've seen something you like, you'll go back, and that's fine too, because you can come into someone's room, you can watch the show reel, just say hi and go off and go to the next room and go round and then decide who you want to go back and see. And that's okay too. You don't have to actually talk to us. It's okay. We won't be offended.
And Sammy is here, one of the other artists. Sammy. Hello, Sammy. Glad you could make it.
Excellent. And Sammy's in the UK as well. She's one of our abstract artists. So we've got huge variety, and that's the other thing. I know many people say to Steve on the way out is the huge variety of art that we have. You know, we have watercolorists, oils, acrylics, Sammy's abstract. We've got textile with Katie. I'm always just mixed media. Have I missed anything? I will. I always miss somebody.
I know.
So it's always but
did you mention Did you mention Mac?
Oh right, no. So Mac is coming for the first time. Well, she's been a part of the Bloomz the whole time. This is the first time she's actually exhibiting at the show, and she's showing her show reel about her art. But on this occasion, she's not showing her art as such, other than her processes and how it all comes together. And hopefully next time she'll show her actual art. but also she started to do angel oracle card readings. And so people can come along, and that's a great thing if you're with friends, because I think she's going to either offer that, you know, whoever's in the room, she can pull cards for who's ever in her room at the time, or they can book a separate session to do one with her properly. But yeah, that's a whole different, we've never done that before.
I know, something different. Yeah, Sammy just said it's like window shopping, then maybe buy after.
Yeah,
type of
absolutely,
thing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the point of it, is for people to come along and find out about us and about our art. And we say we do have such a variety they may not have actually come across. Encaustic wax, just thought of another one. We've got encaustic wax as well, which I hadn't come across at all until we got together with the Bloomz. So it's a great opportunity to come and just find out about artists and art and window shop. And as Sammy says, go away, think about it, and then, oh, actually, you know, either you might just want to follow some of us so that you can stay in our world, and perhaps, you know, just to find out about more, or you might want to come back and buy something, because, you know, not everybody wants to buy now. It's just
for sure. I'm interested in just meeting new people too, and just, you know, telling about my art, and also new workshops that I'm going to be doing as well.
I was going to say, because you're doing a whole heap of workshops and things at the moment, aren't you? In your and I love your mandalas and everything behind you. But so what are the workshops that you're doing at the moment?
Well, I don't have anything that is confirmed scheduled at the moment, but due to COVID, I'm not doing any
fair enough.
any live workshops, but the aim is to do those. But with the Zoom workshops, I have some coming up in the works. There is I did a Tree of Life workshop that I'm giving as a free course for people that sign up on my for my newsletter.
Excellent.
So people can enjoy that and see it before they commit to any courses that I'll be doing in the future.
Yeah. And you've also got a group, haven't you? The
Creatively Fit Coaches is a group that I'm taking this course right now and learning so much from them. And well, I'm on this Facebook Live challenge right now with them.
Oh, yeah.
And this is day 16 of going live out of 21 days. And I have gone live for 16 days in a row.
I know. I have to say, I did love your magical back garden with your tree house.
Oh, it's my tree house. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I just wanted to show people, you know, a little bit of my world and how I live, right? Getting to know me as the person.
Yeah. We forget, I think, because I was saying the other day when we were with Sammy and Cindy, that we see a lot of each other, as in on Zoom and things like that, but we don't see a lot of each other because, you know, number one, we're only from here up. And I said, one of the things, I don't know how tall anyone is, you know, and every now and then you see a photo and you think, oh, they're tall. Oh my God, why did I not think they were tall? I have no idea, because I've only seen somebody from, you know, here up, and just silly things. And then you showed your garden and the tree house, and you just think, God, there's so much I don't know about people, because we're in this square almost, and we're chatting. But the difference between actually meeting somebody and being in their world, and you see this, because you see things, don't you? You don't always tell everybody everything, but people see things about you, and you're very limited in this little space.
So how tall are you, Stephanie?
I'm 5'6", so not particularly tall, actually. How about you?
I'm 5'5".
Oh, right. Do you know, I saw a picture of you the other day and I thought you were taller than that. It was you.
I know.
There was a picture of you doing one of those art competitions where you said you actually, it was like you were up against other people and you had to paint. And there was a picture of you then, and I thought, oh, do you know, I think Ann-Marie's taller than I thought. Obviously not. So there you go.
No, I'm just kind of an average height, I guess. Yeah. But people always think I'm taller.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. But yeah, 5'5", 5'6", it's the kind of, it's the average height, isn't it? Maybe
Yeah.
we can get everything to fit us clothes wise.
It's funny, my kids are both taller than me right now. They just sprouted right up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking up to them. Yeah.
That's normal though, isn't it? Because are both your children, you've got a boy and a girl, haven't you?
Yeah, my son is 16 and my daughter is 21.
Okay, right. Yes. Yeah, 16. Wow. Yeah, shooting up. That's it. Well, that must be really difficult actually for 16-year-olds at the moment, being kept
for sure. Yeah. No, in school there's no sports, no extracurricular events, no school dances, things like the normal teenage things that you do, right?
Yeah.
Normal teenage things that you get up to, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we say get up to, but it actually keeps you out of trouble, doesn't it? Because they're the normal teenager things that everybody does, and it's like you just think, oh God, I took so much of that for granted when I was growing up, that you could do all those things, and then suddenly stop. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So I feel for youngsters actually in that, because it is a time to explore, isn't it? So. Although you're always exploring, Ann-Marie. It's adventure, you're either going up mountains or scuba diving or, oh my God, it's just like, you're always going off.
Life is an adventure, I'd say.
Yeah, how very true. Very true.
Some comments, I just get caught up on the comments here. Sammy says, it's an amazing gallery experience, especially with a glass of wine or two. Yeah. And she says the garden was gorgeous, a real secret garden. Yes, my secret garden. And she says her boys are all 6 feet something. And she's how tall are you, Sam? I don't think Sammy's that tall.
No, she's 5'6". She said the other day, because when we like us, about the same. So but isn't it true that your sons are always taller than you? Isn't that a female? Your sons are always taller than you? I thought, wasn't that
I think it's an average thing, maybe. Yeah. Not sure.
Yeah, someone can prove me wrong. There you go. Is there anybody who's listening whose son is not taller than them? We'll do a straw poll.
Sammy says she feels very lazy compared to Ann-Marie's life.
Yes, absolutely. I know. And yoga. I mean, how many weeks of yoga instruction did you do recently?
I did a 200-hour yoga teacher training, so I'm now a certified yoga teacher.
Yeah, I mean, you just
add that to my toolbox.
But you were saying the other day, I was listening when you were talking to one of the other artists and saying about your scuba diving and the fact you're not quite certified yet. You need to do a couple more dives, don't you? But did I read somewhere that you did it because you were scared of going underwater, or is that me making that up?
No, I was never scared of underwater.
It's me.
Maybe that's you, and maybe you need to have some scuba lessons.
I was projecting my fear onto you, Ann-Marie, clearly.
Exactly. No, I love the water. Ever since when I was in high school, I took snorkeling classes, and I could hold my breath underwater in the pool the longest out of anybody way back then. And I was into synchronized swimming too when I was there. Not that great at it, but I enjoyed it. In your mind how the synchronized swimming is supposed to be, and
absolutely. I mean, the whole point of it is enjoying it. I always remember as a real youngster, sort of age 5, going to ballet, and I loved it. And the teacher said to Mum, do you know, I think she'll probably be better off doing gymnastics. And my mum was really sad, because she was like, but she loves it, and I was like a fairy elephant, let's admit. I loved it though. I'm prancing around. And I just always remember my mum taking me aside and saying, actually, the teacher's suggesting you perhaps you should do gymnastics. And the only thing I asked was, could I still wear my tutu?
It's funny. Yes. I took ballet classes too when I was a kid, but I didn't like it back then, because I was I got up to toe shoes, and it was
Wow.
It was hard. Like your toes would
Yeah.
bleed and you'd stuff the cotton inside the bottom of the toe shoes and
Yeah.
you get blisters. It was painful.
Yeah.
And my mom forced me to go to these
Oh my
classes.
goodness. Well, I got out early then. That was good. Oh wow. Yeah,
But,
no, ballet's not fun from that point
but
of view.
I love other dance. Like
Oh, yeah.
later on, I took a few classes in modern dance as well.
Mm.
And
Far less painful for your feet.
yes.
Unless you did Balanchine, because he contorted bodies, didn't he? Not just for ballet, but in all of his, he made people bend their legs and think, anyway, yeah, a whole different story. Whole different thing. But yeah, the things we did. And that, in fact, we were saying also, I mean, you with all your adventures, Sammy didn't, we were saying the other day, and I've forgotten which one it was. She mixed martial arts, but there's an awful lot of the Bloomz girls who've been in martial arts.
Yeah, Katie is.
Yeah, Katie's one. And also, I read the other day that Elisa did karate, which I didn't realise.
I didn't know. No.
It's just like my
because I've done taekwondo, and I presently do jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I've done kickboxing in the past too.
Wow. Is jiu-jitsu the one with the sticks?
No, jiu-jitsu is kind of more like wrestling.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's something I thought I wouldn't be interested in, but I was taking kickboxing at this one gym, and they also offered the jiu-jitsu, and I was getting kind of a bit bored with the kickboxing because there's only, I don't know, a certain amount of punches and kicks that you do, and it was getting a bit too routine for me. So I tried the jiu-jitsu, which is more it's full combat, physical, like wrestling.
So basically, the Bloomz, we are warriors, aren't we? I mean,
we are. Yes,
we are a fighting band of women, basically.
Yes, we're strong and powerful, and
yeah, absolutely. Gosh, the more I learn, yeah, amazing. I love it. That was fun. Yeah, very good, very good. But,
so yeah. What else do you do when you're not making art and stuff? Do you have any things that you do in your spare time, if there's such a thing?
But it's funny, so not so much now. I mean, previously, because now I live in Stratford upon Avon, and it's very much, friends. And prior to the current restrictions, we would have gone round for meals and gone to the theatre and things. But when I lived in London, I absolutely loved going to the opera and ballet. But because I lived in London, we could basically, you can get the cheap seats at the Royal Opera House for £5. They're right up in the bottom.
Nice.
But you get to see and hear everything, and sometimes you actually have a better view than the people in the really expensive seats, because they're just sat, and you could actually stand up there and look down. So you just had to go each day of the performance and queue up and get your £5 seat. So we used to do that a lot. So things like that I used to love. I've seen so many different ballerinas and opera stars and things which people paid hundreds and hundreds of pounds for. So I loved all that. My sport was basketball, so I wasn't a martial art person. even though only 5'6", but that wasn't a disadvantage. But yeah, so basically really, and then lots of traveling. I have done lots and lots of traveling.
I love traveling.
Yeah, and I've never done backpacking type traveling. I was always much more of a hotel person, but my brother did lots of traveling, and he always knew he couldn't ask me to come and see him unless there was a hotel nearby. But yeah, but in fact I've just started obviously my Fibre art is my business, but I've just started to teach myself with online courses to do watercolor painting. So just for my own, amusement, and perhaps just to do a version of pieces that I'm creating to sort of give me an idea. And it's really nice to do something. I mean, I've done hundreds of crafts, and I mean hundreds of crafts. For all the adventures you've had, I've had crafts in my life, Anne-Marie, because I'm everything from Chinese brush painting. And in fact, one of my stories about Chinese brush painting, because basically art and craft and things, they're actually very relaxing, aren't they? They're very mindful. And I've never really understood that was what I was doing when I was doing these things, but I used to have quite a stressful job, and then I used to come home and do lots of crafts. And one particular day I remember coming home and being furious with the bank for some reason and ringing them up and just, you know, being awful to them and insisting they ring me back. And then I sat down and did some Chinese brush painting, which, to be honest, is all about the prep and not really about the Chinese brush painting. So by the time they rang back, I was quite zenned out. They must have thought I was a schizophrenic. So it's just like, yes, it's fine. So they rang back and was like, where's this horrible woman who spoke to us? Yeah, I've always used it for that without realizing it, actually. Yeah, and then, you know, later in life when you realize that is what you've been using it for, and now it's my life, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I find that with the mandalas too, it's drawing those or painting them, it's so relaxing as well. Oh, and had one question here. Where would your once in a lifetime holiday be?
Okay. At the moment, it would be Japan. I would love to go to Japan, and I find their culture to be, I mean, it's quite different, isn't it, from anything. They're very polite society, but also they all live quite close together. I also love their I love their food, I love their clothes, I love their traditional clothes that they dress up in when they go off, and they still do the full regalia, and I just, yeah, I'm amazed by other people's cultures, and I love to sit in their world for a while. I mean, I don't for a moment pretend that I live their life, because that would be impossible, but yeah, it's lovely to completely embrace in somebody else's world, because you can understand them better, can't people better? It's like, you know, people understand us better if they come and live our life. But yeah, I love that. But the holiday that I would go back for is a safari with the animals, because I have already been on one, but I would go back and do one differently. But yeah.
In Africa, or
yes, I went to Kenya when I went last time, and we did it for 3 weeks, and it was one of those where you were actually in the vehicle being transported from different places, and I can fall asleep anywhere, and they were saying, oh yeah, you won't be able to sleep, the rocky road and everything. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, I'll be asleep in the back. Before I was in the back they're like, no one can sleep, it's horrendous because of that. There's no all unmade roads and things, but I loved it, absolutely loved it, and all the animals and experiences and things. So yeah, I didn't obviously embrace the country as such, but it was going to visit the animals. So where I guess that's going to see the animals, and Japan is actually to embrace their culture. Yeah. How about you?
I would love to go to Bali, just for the culture thing, and yeah, plus I've never been there before.
Right.
Oh, and I had another question here. If a gallery was to ask you to display your work, which gallery would you want it to be?
The Tate.
There
you go. Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I would love to be able to, I'd love to say, right, I'm going to put on an exhibition at the Tate and do some really fantastic, in fact, a piece that I have in my mind that I want to do, which is actually going to be huge in size, is I'm going to do a phoenix. But it's going to take me a good length of time to plan it and do it, because it's going to be huge, and the amount of feathers and everything else and the colors, and I will be able to use lots of different materials in it as well. So yeah, but yeah, I would love that. I would love something like the Tate, and I go, yeah, I'll produce my huge phoenix for you.
Oh, I love the phoenix, the whole idea of you know, rising out of the ashes,
regeneration.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very powerful. And
Absolutely.
what size were you thinking about doing that?
Well, yeah, it's gonna be because I funny enough, because Steve and I were talking about it, and I was saying, oh, it's going to be big, and he thought, oh, big, and I was like, no, I'm big, because I already found a nest that is of washed up wood, which someone had made as a kind of a wreath, but it's huge. And when that arrived, Steve was like, oh, that big. Oh yes, it's going to be really big. I mean, it's going to be absolutely huge, which is why it's going to take me so long to do, and it will be in between other things that I'm doing rather than me doing it all along and everything. But yeah, absolutely, I love doing a big project like that. I mean, I noticed today you haven't got your wings behind you, but normally you sit there with your wings.
No, that's in another part of my house. This is
okay.
My house has been taken over as my whole studio, actually.
Quite right.
So this is I'm in the attic right now, which is my regular studio. Okay. But downstairs is where I have the angel wings.
Right.
That's in my living room. I cleared out
fantastic.
my couches, sofas, all that, and
excellent.
I love space on my wall.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love that idea. I'll get ideas now. Steve will go, what are you doing? No, Anne-Marie said.
I said you can do that. It's okay.
It's
Well, I used to know an artist friend of mine years ago. He was quite an established painter, and he had no furniture. He just cleared out. He had his whole living room was his studio. No furniture at all downstairs.
Right. Yeah. Who needs it? Yeah.
No.
When he's at home, he's painting. Fair enough. I love it. No, that's true, because to be honest, sometimes, I mean, I've stopped doing it now because I use Fibre and it gets everywhere. But I used to never be just sitting watching telly or things like that. You'd always be doing something, and you just sort of think, yeah, really, you should just have your studio and everything there. But the trouble is, because, as I say, I use Fibre, which at the moment looks completely in control in all its little forms, but actually I've got a mass of it down here. And it's not something you want getting anywhere, really. But yeah.
Oh, a couple more comments here. Sammy says, you could apply for the 4th plinth in Trafalgar Square.
Oh, outside though, presumably.
I guess. I'm not sure what the plinth is.
Well, presumably they've got 3 plinths which have got some art on, and they've put a new one. I didn't know about this. I'm making this up. So Sammy, you're going to have to correct us if I'm wrong. But presumably there's now another plinth.
She says for the Phoenix, not for Steph to sit on.
I'll just go sit there. All right. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, for the Phoenix, but I'd have to make it so that it could go outside, but which I hadn't really planned on.
Yeah, with the feathers and everything, like
with the fiber.
Yeah.
It's not really going to stand up to that.
Yeah, I don't think it would last outside.
Robust, but that's a whole different way of robust, isn't it, to do that? But yeah, but it would be lovely if someone put a Phoenix there. Yeah, but like you say, I love the Phoenix, and I was going to say that you're very experienced in meditation and very much with your practices and everything, and I always feel like I've got a big learner plate on myself when I go and do meditation. But it's become clear to me that I'm not somebody who visualize or who sees things when I meditate. I don't actually see stuff. I feel that something's there rather than actually see things. But the one thing I did see was when I was doing some guided meditation, and they were like, go here, and what are you being given? And the thing I saw was a phoenix. And so that's where I was like, oh, there you go. I love that symbol. But yeah, normally I don't see a thing. Everyone's usually, wow. Can you see this? Can you see that? No.
There's a lot of people don't see things. They just get feelings or see maybe colors, things like that. Yeah,
that's me.
Oh, Sammy says in a large glass box.
Oh, right.
Imagine putting it a large is it plexiglass or something?
Yeah, so I mean, in fact, this is acrylic over that I've got here. So, but
Mm.
that would be hugely expensive.
It would, yes.
Yeah, the Phoenix would be this amount, and then to have that would actually be 5 times as small. Yeah. But yeah, great idea though. Yeah.
Sammy says, think big, very big.
Yes, no, yes, I'm trying, Sammy.
That is thinking very big, yeah.
Yeah, I think steps, Sammy. I think I'm thinking of steps. But the thing is, I do love one of the great things about the Bloomz that we, belong to. Yes, we're doing our show and everything at the weekend, but it's also about the fact that we are a collective of artists, and that we chat about what we're doing and not doing, and that we inspire each other for various things, or just help in terms of, where am I going, what am I doing, and then someone else will say, well, that's normal to feel like that. But and it's like Cindy, she did a picture of a sea turtle, and then that inspired me to do my sea turtle. And you just, and even like we talk about doing, it's Fiona who started putting gold leaf.
Oh yeah.
And then paints on top of it. And it was one of the other artists who was in the Bloomz originally, Liz, and she does a lot of gold leaf, and they would sort of just, so there's all this cross, pollination, let's call it, of ideas, it's, which I love. And because it really, when you are at home in your studio, as inspired as you are, you still just need that interaction.
You need that community, I think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Just to help, helps inspire. And sometimes when you're thinking, yeah, it's a bad idea, and then Sammy goes, think big,
Oh.
Definitely. Yeah, no, it makes a big difference, I think.
And you also have a podcast too going, which is
yes,
hilarious.
In fact, we were meant to do another one today, all about the Bloomz. But yes, Steve and I, we do a podcast, and my partner Steve. And one of the things about our relationship is that we're very honest with each other. And that's just the way it works for us. And I know that sometimes people say, surely you don't say those things to him. Yes, I do. And he says equally to me. But so we've done a podcast, which is all about our thoughts, and we go for a walk each morning, which is usually a bit of a rant, and then on the podcast. And now we've also started reviewing films, because here in our house, Friday night is film night, or it won't be this week, obviously, but Friday night is film night. And so we watch some stinkers as well as some good ones. And then we decided that we were going to review them. So yeah, but we're going to do a review of the Bloomz, and we were going to do it today. So I think we'll probably end up doing it later, because he's down in his den making some lamps, I think, at the moment. But so we'll go through a review of each of the artists. So be scared, Sammy, be very scared.
So much fun. Oh, Sammy said, I love the community vibes and how ideas bounce about when we're talking about before. Yeah,
absolutely. It just, and I realize more and more, I've always loved being part of a community. It was Elisa, who's in Italy, who, it was her first need for a community to belong to, which why we started the Bloomz. But I have always found myself in a group of people, because it's just lovely to have that bouncing off and, group vibe. And also it means that you can party.
The parties go on for a long time. When was it? Christmas or New Year's, or one time?
It was New Year.
Yeah, the party just kept going on and on. And I was telling people about it, and how long can these ladies talk?
There's no stopping.
What were you talking about? People ask. Oh, I don't know.
No idea. Probably not.
I couldn't remember. Probably not.
I couldn't tell you what we were talking about, but yeah. No, well, we had to have New Year in about 4 different time zones, didn't we? Because there was UK and Italy only an hour apart, but then we had Australia and Canada, so it was just the 4, wasn't it? yeah, because yeah, that's it, just the thought. But even so, quite a far apart, wasn't it? So
Yes.
and at one point I think we were partying and Cindy in Australia was at work, and we were saying she kept going for a break and logging on and going, oh my god, are you still up? Yes. Oh dear. And we always have an after show party after the Bloomz
That's
show
right.
as well,
Yes.
which we all look forward to.
It's fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's all good. Love it. No, I love it a lot. Keeps me going.
Yeah. So the Zoom's shows were your mastermind. Like you had the idea to begin with to start this.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things where you're doing something else and you think, oh, I wonder if we'll be able to use that. And my original idea was, because we were learning how to sell, I always thought that I'll be able to launch my new artist business, Stephanie's Farm, on Zoom. And I was trying to work out how to do that. And of course, I was thinking a piece of art in each room. And that when I suddenly went, oh, no, we could have an artist. We could have an artist in each room. And that was it. Yeah, the idea splurged from there.
The big light bulb on the top of your head.
It's just like, we can do this. We can do this. But what was always also brilliant was the only thing that we couldn't do was visitors couldn't originally move around from breakout room to breakout room. So we asked Zoom if they could add it to their schedule, which they thought, oh, that'll be it. That's a great facility. We'll do that. And they said, when did you need it for? And we said the date. And they did the change the night before, which was a bit of a...
That's great that they did that they actually listened to you and implemented it.
Absolutely. I felt like a rock star, because you're just like, oh my god.
Just like, yes, I created this change.
Yes. But it was the fact there was the night before and we were running around going, oh my god, because we'd done guidance notes and everything, and of course it all changed because people could now actually move around, which is brilliant, because that means that people are not reliant. I mean, that's always the thing, isn't it, when people are saying that when they've done breakout rooms before, you get put in one and then you have to come back and then someone has to tell you can go again, but there's none of that. You actually move yourself around to wherever you want to go. Or leave if that's what you want to do, type thing. So yeah, and
we can actually move people around too if they get stuck somewhere. If they're on like iPad or something.
Yes, and iPad or phone. Sometimes they can't quite do it, but yeah. So then they can say to us, "Can you move me somewhere else?" It's like, yeah.
And so just click on the button and
move them to the next
move
one,
them to the other room.
Absolutely, yeah, which is all good fun. I love it. I love it. Yeah, a good time to be had by all. So is there anything else that you want to tell people? Anything else besides the Bloomz show that you have coming up? No, I'm just well, to be honest, I am completely focused on the
Bloomz, this weekend. Yeah.
I mean, after that, which is a very local thing, we have an open studios, which I'm a part of, but I'm not even thinking about that until after the Bloomz is over. It's like one thing at a time. But no, apart from that, that's it really. That's my focus, to get us all there and make sure everybody has a good time, really. Which is what it's all about.
So I hope everyone can make it to the show, because there's no replay. It's it's just an event.
Yeah,
right.
That's right. The amount of people just said to me, can we have a recording? And it's like, well, no, because you have to go and experience it. It's an event. It's an interactive event. It's not, I think perhaps some people think it's like a webinar, and perhaps each artist is going to come on and give a presentation and that. And it's like, no, you actually walk. You don't physically walk, but you actually, do kind of walk around a show. So you have to actually go. Have to actually do it. You have to experience it yourself. So yeah, if you don't go, then you're missed. But I will be sending anybody who signs up for the tickets, we get emails come out, and we also send an email 10 minutes before we open. So if you lose the links and everything, don't you worry about it. We'll get that in your inbox 10 minutes before the show opens anyway. And also, I suppose the important thing as well, which is the girls always keep saying I need to remember to say, is that if you sign up for a particular time, your link actually works at all of the shows. So like if you've booked a Saturday slot and then you think, oh, I can't do Saturday now, I wish I booked Friday, you can still come on Friday because it's the same link and it's not an issue. You don't have to tell anybody, you can just turn up and that's fine. So yeah.
And also the times are in UK time that are listed,
yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So I think we probably need to issue the World Buddy Clock or something with it, don't we? I can actually work it out. But yeah, so for yourself, for instance, you are going to be there for the UK time, the Friday night and the Saturday night, but the Saturday morning show, because that's the middle of the night for you, basically. But your show reel will be running. So if you want to,
so people can still see my work. Yeah,
you can still see your work, but if they want to come and talk to you, they need to come on Saturday night or Friday night. Yeah. So
yeah, so they're 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is my time.
Yeah.
That the Friday and Saturday for me.
Yeah. Which is a nice time. That's a nice time.
That's nice afternoon. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so I don't think there's any more comments or questions. So I could probably talk to you all day and for hours, but we won't do that right now.
Really flicked ourselves on everyone else.
So thank you so much for joining me on this, Stephanie. It was love chatting with you and getting to know you better. And we will post the links to you in the comments below about the Bloomz and your personal artwork page.
Thank you.
And we will say goodbye for now, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.